Like, that's just like bad diode hair day. That's what I would call that.
I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans.
Hey, shenaniganders. Welcome back to another episode of Bally Elektra. I haven't hit record down here for a little while. Almost 2 weeks. Jamie and I went to Algonquin Provincial Park for 5 days. So there was that. And I left my mother babysit the house and the cat while we were away. And that is why my hand railing is now pink. Last time we let mother babysit the house, my stairs turned orange and blue. So this is the latest Mother Shenanigans edition. And then, so there's been that. Oh, also went to the Ann Arbor Pinball Museum, also known as Vintage Flipper World. That is Clay Harrell's place. If you don't know Clay Harrell, look him up. He is basically Pinball Jesus. He wrote the book on pinball repair. A lot of PinWiki comes from him. But have you ever heard of Clay Harrell pinball repair guides that used to kind of circulate underground? I think he had them posted publicly and then pulled them off the internet one day. So everybody was scrambling. But then PinWiki came to be, but yeah, anyway, Clay Harrell has like 500 machines. It's insanity. It's amazing. I did a video on it. Spent like an hour and a half just videoing instead of playing, but got some good playtime in after that. And okay, yeah, so last night I actually did come down here. Well, it wasn't night, it was more like late evening, early or late afternoon. But the thing is that we had no power. The construction peoples, 5 blocks away, smashed open a 12-inch gas line. So they had to shut off the gas and the electricity. So I came down here just to see what I could do. And I actually managed to pull off a few things with no power and very little light. I pretty much operated with this guy the whole time. I was able to mess around for like a solid hour, and before I started running out of things to do. But tonight I'm gonna see what I can do. I actually played soccer last night, and I sillily chased a ball towards the boundary there, and I just was running too fast and just couldn't get my foot on it, and I flew off the sideline and my ribs landed into somebody's knee that was sitting on the sidelines there. So my ribs are very achy. I'm gonna see if I can do anything while I'm down here, but I'll at least give you an update on what I did last night in the dark. So firstly, I got my apron cards in the mail from John G on eBay. If you want to find him, then look up John G. It's like a eBay, one of the European eBay sites. I forget which one, but his cards are great quality. Let's zoom in here. They're laminated. They got a good thickness to them. They come shipped very well, and they fit friggin' perfectly. Boom. So I was able to install my apron cards, and while I am on apron cards, I'll show you what else I got. I got Mystic apron cards. I like how it's got blue and yellow border to match the blue and yellow here. Voila. And I also got my Xenon apron cards. Also, the trim is blue and red to match, which is pretty sweet. So thanks, John G. I'll be back for more for sure. Also, just a quick little update on Mystic. My last episode, I didn't really have it 1,000,000% finalized. So since then, I have done a couple things. I actually wrote a list, but then I lost the list and kind of forget all the things I've done to it. But it was like 97% done. So I did a couple more percentages, including replacing the 2 incorrect drop targets. So, and cleaning the rest. So those guys are all good now. I also got my original CPU back from my board repair guy. Installed that, pulled out my Alltech board so I can have that back. And like I said, I did a few more things. I can't actually remember. I had a list of like 8 things. So who knows what they were, but Mystic is good to go. And I also got my Xenon soundboard back from my board repair guy. Problem is that when I left this in the machine and I come back to it, the sound and speech just vanish. So I sent it to him. He rechecked it, tested it for hours. He had no issues on his end whatsoever. So I've stuck in another set that I have currently running right now. I just have it on very low so you can't hear it. But I'm going to let that run for a couple hours and see if this other board set has the same issue, or see if I can determine if it is the board or something else. Because the one that I pulled out came out of my stash and has not been shopped up and is kind of like dirty and dusty and crusty, and it seems to work perfectly thus far. And the refurbished and re-inspected board is misbehaving. It's pinball for you. Okay. So, what else did I do? Let's see if I can remember. I didn't do a whole lot. But I did get my ramp and lane guide back from Kevin. If you were watching any previous episodes, you would remember that this ramp here was busted. So I had Kevin weld that back together for me right here. And he said this metal is very thin and not easy to work with. So it was a bit of a challenge, but he got it working. You know, as you can see a little bit of the weldment stuff going on there, but I'm totally cool with that. And you can't even see it from player's perspective. And it did take me a little bit of finagling to bend and tweak this just so ever so correctly so that it was smooth and not torqued. It was a little bit torqued. So I adjusted that so that it's good now. I'm a little concerned with the steepness of these ramps. And hopefully this transition here, let's see. Yeah, I don't know about that. Hopefully that doesn't hop. It's a little spacer under there. I'm almost tempted, if this is hopping, to remove that spacer, but it is factory. But I'm a little concerned these ramps are going to launch the ball into the friggin' glass once I install that. Oh, look at that. You can actually go up this ramp into that captive ball. Ooh, you see that? That's not good already. This is hitting the top of this, and that's probably explains why this gate was replaced. It's a little bit rusty, actually. I should clean that. That's why this gate broke and was replaced for that very reason. That is not good. So I'm gonna have to do some dialing in there. Oh yeah, I did lube the spinners, so you can do that in the dark. Bust out the lube in the dark. What else did I do? Other than busting out lube in the dark, I'm sure I did something else. I think, oh yeah, I installed a lock and a piece of plastic from the old set. That is this guy right here. That's my keychain. Because I want to keep this for my collection. So I see a spot for it. Oh, let's not drop my phone. Right there. Oh, that's where The plastic for Party Zone used to be, what's it called? The Cosmic Cottage plastic. Seems to be missing on most Party Zones, so I gave that to Kevin. I brought that to him with my ramp. Oh, and the other piece. But yeah, so that Elektra plastic can go where the Cosmic Cottage was. This was the other repair he did. This L bracket was busted off of this lane guide here, and that is now good. So, oh, another thing I got in the mail too, thanks to Corey at London Pinball for including me in his, was it Marco or Pinball Life order? I'm having Dracula issues with the long opto beam. So it's either the optos or the opto board. I replaced this opto and tested that opto. It seemed to be okay. So I went ahead and bought this board. It is actually from Home Pin. You know, that makes like Thunderbirds, the worst game in pinball history. So this is, yeah, Home Pin makes this board. They're the only ones that do. There's got lots of good reviews. So, and this board is only used in Dracula, Star Wars Episode 1, and Shadow. So I might pop this in tonight if I can lift the playfield with bruised ribs. We'll find out. And see if I can get my Dracula back up and running as well. Also, what did I do? I did glue this Bally sticker back on. It was curled up. Just a little bit of a hack job. I had to tape it in place. And there's going to be some residue from the green tape, so I'll clean that up now. But from afar, it looks a little better than a little curly Q on the end. And yeah, there might be another couple things. Here, oh, I have a little list I'll check. Balls. That was the other thing. Got me new shiny balls for Elektra. So, oh wait, there's more. Hold on. Okay, so the last thing I was able to do, or that I did last night, was go around and just kind of check all of the end of stroke switches. So I had cleaned and filed and adjusted them all so that they are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Now remember, there's 6 flippers on this game, lower playfield. Oh, I'll get to that shortly. Upper playfield, which only has a single stack, which is nice. Voila. If I find these are a little sloppy, then I will replace the end of stroke switches, but right now I just want to get this thing playing, and then I can rebuild flippers to whatever degree I deem necessary afterwards. But see, this guy, someone has replaced these switches at some point, so that's nice. I made sure they're adjusted. First one opens, second one closes. So the first one is end of stroke switch, killing the power. Second one, I believe, is engaging the power to the upper flippers, probably. Okay, so this guy here is what I'm going to be working on, if I can. I think I can. I'm moving around okay. This coil here, already semi-removed. It has been burnt. It looks a little crusty. And it doesn't have any markings on it, so I don't even know what kind of coil it is. And also look at the wiring job here. Like, that's just like bad diode hair day. That's what I would call that. And when I was just taking off this piece of tape on this wire, these guys fell right off. So, like, is this even soldered in? No, it's just like twisted in. And then, of course, we've got this end of stroke switch that has some little yellow peg as a replacement for the little plastic nylon piece, which might have worked, but we're gonna fix that. Okay, so the mini Elektra playfield came to the rescue again. Here's one of the flipper mechs. Here's an old end-of-stroke switch. But what I did was remove the coil from here and the end-of-stroke switch. And you can see just how nasty these guys are. And this hopefully will solve both my problems. Here we go. Original coil, proper coil. And there's the end-of-stroke switch with the nylon intact. So in theory, all I have to do is replace this, right? And then add this into the stack in place of old Yeller. And Bob's your uncle. And it's already soldered, so I actually only have to solder the two of the brown wires and two of the orange wires, I think. But yeah, so semi plug and play, not fully, but I'll be much happier with that. And then I might even start replacing some flipper parts too, because that is definitely crusty. These nylon circles here, they always wear a flat spot. Let's see. Can you see that? And that eventually causes the flippers to stick. People really don't like these linear flipper mechs. I think they're called linear because one is for the left and one is for the right. I think. I could be wrong. No, that's probably wrong. But people actually revert back to the older style flipper mechs when rebuilding these sometimes, like I know Mitch Ayers does. And all you really have to do, he said, is there's a little nylon piece right in there. It's kind of hard to see because it's so black, but here, this nylon piece, you got to remove that so that the link goes flush against this piece. So you have your little link and plunger instead of this linear action. So I haven't done that yet, but we'll see what flipper rebuild kits I have, and I might experiment with that. Another problem though is that these are my coil stop screws. Notice anything about those? They're wood screws, which is never a good sign. It means the threads in here are stripped as usual. So I've got to probably rethread those to a one size bigger and go with a couple bigger screws, but then you have to like often Dremel out the new coil stops. It's a bit of a pain, but we'll see what I can do. So I'm going to swap out this coil and switch. I think I should be able to pull that off. I'm moving around pretty good. And then I will report back. Okay, here's where I'm at. I have the new solenoid semi installed there, but I've got it soldered up. Here's the new switch that's going to go on. You can see it'll be an exact replacement for that guy. And then I noticed on the other switch here, right here, you can see that the switch end is broken and the little Tungsten contact thingy is missing. So I went hunting and discovered that that switch does not come in the rebuild kits. This is all the sort of rebuild kit stuff for this machine that will work, but that is not the correct switch. This is the incorrect switch that I found. You need the little nylon thing to be on the other side of the switch, like this. But I had to dig around my bin of switches, and this piece here was this piece. So the only one I found was also broken. So I took a perfectly good switch that I found in there, tore it apart, used that blade, and hacked together what I need. So there's the little Tungsten contact, all new and shiny. Can you see? There we go, sort of. And then I filed this side here, nice and shiny. There we go. So I can replace both those now. So a little bit of switch construction going on there. And see if I can hack this all back together and maybe get this thing sort of flipping. I'm not going to go full on 6 flipper rebuild tonight, but I'm definitely going to see if I can get it flipping tonight if possible, and potentially dialed in just a smidge. Might have a couple boys over tomorrow, and it would be nice to be able to play a couple games of this, so I'll keep plugging away. Okay, so just for fun, I'm doing a little dry fit here. That's going to be the new stack, and if I line it up here, looks like it is the perfect fit. There's a lot of friggin' wafers in there. Okay, here we go. I have the new switch stack installed and adjusted. Let's see if I can show you this in action here. Voila. By the way, I noticed that when I look at my phone closely, the letters are a little bit blurry lately. So I've actually got an eye test tomorrow. You know, guess it's that time. Might need me some reading glasses. Oh shit. But yeah, that's installed. I still got to deal with this coil stop and everything else, but just dealing with that now. Then I noticed when I was messing around that my slingshot brackets were both a little bit loose. In order to access the screws on a couple, you need to lower the playfield. Lower the lower playfield. So I'm beefing up the holes with some wood glue and bamboo skewers. I hear Jay the neighbor upstairs. I think he's talking some football with Jamie. He sounds like he's taken off, but so I'm gonna beef up these beef up the brackets, and then reassemble this stuff, as in raise the playfield, and see if I can get to a point where we can actually flip a game. Okay, new screws installed, and that bracket ain't gonna budge now. I put in the beefier number 8 screws. This little guy here, I believe, is a number 6. The one left is a beefier number 8. Just has thicker threads to grab into stuff. That's this screw here from Marco Pinball. So, oh yeah, now that that's resolved, I have this issue. Okay, sling the shot. Oh, didn't retract. Sling the shot. Oh, didn't retract. They're actually getting caught on the plastic. So I have to either raise the plastic or trim off some of the tip of this nylon slingshot guy. So there's something else I have to do before I can play a game. Hey, why don't we check on Xenon? It's been probably an hour and a half-ish since it's been just sitting in this state. I don't know if you can hear, but we have sound. Let's see if we have speech. Okay, turn that back down. So, oh, look at my score. 666. We're going to clear that off. There we go. I have the volume turned back down, but so my old crusty soundboard is winning the race over the shopped up refurbished soundboard. Alright, a little bit more hiccupage, nothing too major on this side, but I filed the cabinet switch, so that's gonna be nice. Come on. It's not focusing very well. But as you can see, there's a couple honking red Robertson screws there. So I don't love that, but worst comes to worst, I could remove them, turn the flipper housing, and put proper screws into some new wood, but it works, so I don't think I'll get that finicky. On the other side, though, I was just adjusting the switch stack, and I was going to clean them so that they make nice contact, but I noticed a screw was missing, so I wanted to remove the switch so I could clean it better and adjust it better. It's easier to bend these switches when you're not right up against the cabinet. And look what I found. The other screw. But the head is missing. So I need to remove that and find one of these type of screws, which I'm sure I can muster up. But yeah, so still trying to get to a test game point, but there's a few obstacles in the way. Alright, I think I got the flipper cabinet switches happy now. Found an extra screw there and didn't have any trouble getting out the old one without the head, so adjusting these is always a little bit tricky, but I think I'm going to be happy with that. Come on, you blurry. Yeah, that should be good. This side should be good. Now I got to deal with those slingshots that are rubbing on the plastic. Okay, that wasn't so bad. I just added a couple washers on top of the posts and voila. No more slings catching. I still haven't tested this switch. This was missing. Replaced it, but I haven't tested it to see if it actually triggers the slingshot. So we're very, very close. I think now might actually be the time. Just throw in a couple balls, turn it on, and see what happens here. I think I have the volume very low. Why do I have the volume so low? Okay. We're in attract mode. Everything there is still good. Oh, that reminds me. I think I have a light bulb or two out. Okay. I guess it's playtest time. Let's hit the start button. Oh, I was doing sound volume, no wonder. Need to turn up the speech volume. Okay. Well, let's kind of test the flippers out here. They seem to work. Left side. Oh, shite. Upper flipper's not working. What happened? I'm gonna have to figure that out. Okay. And let's test this slingshot switch here. We know this one should work. And boom. Okay. That's good. Let's try a little bit of action here. Whoa. Very little bit. Gonna deal with the sound too. It's can't hear it right now. I kind of think it might be a good idea to remove this game, because I think it makes the game easy now that I like easier on the upper playfield, and that's probably why this thing is worn so bad, because this thing keeps it up there. I think I might remove it at some point, but that's the fine dialings in that will happen eventually. Whoa. Oh yeah. Ooh, I lit up the middle thing. I don't know what happened to my volume, but I'm planning on sending some boards out to my guy, including the original soundboard, original MPU, and I think there was something else. This ball bounces kind of and spins a little funny on the plexiglass. Wait, is this ball 4? Yes, it is. Okay. Oh, we got the upper saucer. I feel like I need to level the machine as well. Oh yeah, it's drifting hard to the left there. But in theory, we are playing Elektra. You can lock a ball in there, I guess. That was cute. That wasn't so bad. Didn't fly off. Can backhand up the upper playfield. Hope you can see this well. I'm doing the horrible one-handed gameplay video. Oh, there it is. Oh, I can hear the sound. Just barely. Oh, wait. We're playing the lower. I guess... Oh, what? Is it over? My left lower flipper doesn't work as well. So all left sides, well, this guy and this guy must be a common switch. Alright, so this must be ball 5. I'm gonna have to test all those rollovers up there, see if they all actually work. Well, getting closer. High score to date. I like the callouts and the voice. Too bad you can't hear them. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for now. We're making progress. I'm getting closer. I'd like to at least get those flippers going and maybe the sound if possible for potential action tomorrow. This gate's sticky as well. Anyway, we're getting there. So that was a decent dent. Thanks for watching and appreciate all the nice comments from everybody. Very much appreciated. We'll see you guys next time. Alright, let's do some bonus footage. Just trying to translate the schematics and figure out what would cause the flippers to not work, and I could not translate, so I just thought I would run a couple tests including just making sure that this secondary switch here was in fact working. I tested that with a multimeter. It was. Also squoze the switch together really tightly in gameplay to make sure that it's making good contact, and that did not do anything. So I'm just kind of going through all the wires and making sure everything's good. And then I get to this wire. Is not good. Now this is the right flipper, obviously, but it's all somehow related, maybe. I have no idea if that's actually my issue or not, but it's definitely an issue. What is the first switch is the end of stroke switch, and the second switch does what? It's not a lane change switch. I wouldn't activate another flipper, so what does this second switch actually do? Anyway, this I'm gonna fix and see if that gets me closer to a resolution.
That didn't work. I have been exposed to Elektra's radiation. Will I return? Yeah, maybe tomorrow, but I'm probably done tonight. Thanks for watching.